Hello, my cute white lilies. Welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys missed me a little. Let's get started the next episode of Two Souls Written in Scars. The next morning, sunlight streaming in through the balcony woke Trishvika up. Her eyelids and head felt heavy. She noticed she was alone on the bed, which meant Akshar was either out for his run or in the washroom. She looked around the room. Wilted flowers, melted candles, the aftermath of last night. She tried to recall what had happened, but her memory was blank. She was still wearing her red sari, her makeup had faded, her hair was messy, but how did she even get here? She squeezed her eyes shut, trying to remember. She recalled dancing with Akshar, then sitting with him on the bed, then saying something, crying, him wiping her tears, and then her eyes snapped open. She remembered leaning close to his lips, but what she didn't remember was, did they actually kiss? Her face instantly turned pink. Covering her face with both hands, she muttered, What did I do? Oh my god. What if I gave him the wrong signal? Oh, Kanaji. She quickly sat up. She thought Akshar hadn't returned yet, but when she looked at the clock, it was almost 10 a.m. Her eyes widened. 10? That means he must have already gone to the office. After a pause, she mumbled, Okay, good. At least I'm saved from an embarrassing situation. Just as she was about to get off from the bed, the door opened. She looked up and there he was. Akshar walked in, holding a glass. I'm dead, she muttered under her breath. He walked up to her and said, You're awake. Have this, it'll help with the hangover. What is it? She asked, noticing the red liquid. Watermelon juice. It's ease your headache, he said, handing it to her. She looked at him once, then at the glass and took it. Thank you so much. How are you feeling? He asked, fixing his tie in the mirror. Just a headache, she said hesitantly. Did I create any scene last night at the party? Even if you did, so what? You're Akshar Purushottam's wife, Sparrow. Stop worrying about all that. He replied. It doesn't bother you. I could have ruined the whole function. She asked. It does bother me, but only because it's you, he said with a faint smile. And if you can't handle it, why did you drink? Leaning back against the headboard, she smiled softly. Because I knew she'd handle it. Their eyes met and his smile deepened. He applied his perfume and put on his blazer. Can I ask you something? She said. He responded while tying his shoelaces. What kind of drunk am I? She asked curiously. What? He reacted, surprised. I mean, people laugh more, cry more, talk a lot when drunk. What kind am I? She asked. He stayed silent for a moment. Then he stood up and walked toward her. As he leaned closer, her heartbeat suddenly picked up. He stopped near her ear and whispered with a slight smirk. Emotional and cute. Then, casually picking up his watch from the side table, he walked back to the mirror. Trishvika took a deep breath, trying to steady herself. Her breathing had slowed the moment he came close, but then she realized he had only come to pick up his watch. What was happening to her? His voice broke her thoughts. Finish the juice and take rest today. College starts tomorrow, right? Okay. She replied, coming back to her senses. I'm heading to the office. See you in the evening. Bye. He said, walking out. Take care, she said softly. But by then he was already gone. Akshay stepped out of Purushottam Niwas. He took his car keys from the driver and drove quickly toward the hospital. After an hour-long drive, he parked the car and went inside. As soon as he entered, Sayam walked up to him. Where is he? Akshar asked. In ward number 22, boss. Sayam replied, lowering his head. He's not seriously injured. The doctor said there is nothing to worry about. There was a softness in Akshar's eyes today. Thank you, Sayam. If you hadn't informed me on time, you should meet him, boss. Sayam said with a faint smile. For perhaps the first time, Akshar placed a hand on Sayam's shoulder and walked toward the ward. He opened the private ward door and stepped inside. Bhargav was laying on the bed. A bandage was wrapped around his head, brushes under his eyes, and an IV attached to his hand. Akshar's fists clenched. Hearing footsteps, Bhargav opened his eyes. Seeing Akshar, he gave a bitter smile and said weakly, Come here. Akshar walked up to the bed but didn't say anything. Anger was visible in his eyes. Won't you hug me? Bhargav said. Akshar's eyes had turned red. He lost control for a moment and leaned forward, only for Bhargav to suddenly punch him hard across the face. Why do you always come between me and Sanj? Bhargav shouted angrily. Why did you save me, huh? Will you finish all your rivalry with me in this life only? Why won't you let me die? There were tears in Akshar's eyes. Though he held them back, his lips stung as blood started to trickle out. Wiping it, he grabbed Bhargav's face and said, क्योंकि भाई है तू मेरा. I've already lost Sanj. If I lose you too, I'll die myself. Why don't you understand, Akshar? Bhargav cried, tears rolling down his temples. There is nothing for me in this world. My world is waiting for me in the other one. I need to go to her, man. And why don't you understand? Akshar replied, his voice breaking. You're all I have. Live for me, brother, please. If you want, I'll beg at your feet. Just give me your life and stop all this. You have put men behind me, you Bhargav shouted hoarsely. You forced me to. Akshar snapped, wiping the blood from his lip again. Bhargav shut his eyes tightly and turned his face away. He didn't want to face him. Akshar walked toward the window. Silence filled the ward. Neither of them looked at each other. As Akshar walked out, he said, I'll come to take you in the evening. And you are coming with me to Purushottam Nivas. Got it? Bhargav said nothing. After Akshar left, Bhargav opened his eyes. Tears filled them as he stared at the ceiling. He knew as long as Akshar was there, nothing would happen to him. He wouldn't even be able to take his own life himself. Outside, seeing Akshar's condition, Sayam rushed toward him. Boss, are you okay? What will one punch from that idiot do to me? Akshar said with a faint smile. I'm fine. Sayam, stay here at the hospital. Make sure he doesn't leave until evening. That's my order. Okay, boss. I'm going to the company, Akshar said and walked away. Back at the Purushottam Nivas, Trishvika came downstairs quite late. Everyone had already left for their walk. Vidita was gone too. As she came down, Rukmini ji asked, Trishvika, how are you feeling now? I'm fine, Mom. She replied with a soft smile. If you feel even slightly unwell, we can go to the doctor, okay? Concern was evident in Rukmini ji's eyes. That won't be necessary, Trishvika said, lowering her gaze. Mom, if I embarrassed you or Dad last night, then I'm sorry. Sorry? Rukmini ji laughed gently, her eyes shining. Last night was beautiful. You gave us tears of happiness. For parents, nothing matters more than their children's happiness. And yesterday, all four of my kids were happy. Seeing her calm nature, Trishvika remembered what had happened the previous night with Divyanshu's family. Reena ji had almost revealed everything. She didn't want to live in constant fear of the truth coming out someday. Taking a deep breath, she said, Mom, I want to tell you something. Yes, dear, tell me. Rukmini ji said, noticing her hesitation. Mom, last night, Mrs. Rana and her family, they are I know, Rukmini ji said seriously. Mrs. Rana's son is your ex-husband. I know that. You know? How? Trishvika looked confused. Chiku told me this morning. He told me everything, Rukmini ji said, holding her hand. I didn't know earlier, otherwise I wouldn't have invited them. You had to face discomfort because of me, and I'm sorry, Trishvika. Trishvika was stunned. Was this really happening? Did Rukmini ji have no problem with the fact that Akshar was her second husband? Tears welled up in her eyes. She hugged her tightly. Mom, there is no one like you in this world. Why? There must be many like me, Rukmini ji said, caressing her head. Pulling back, Trishvika said, I don't think there's anyone like my mom. You're special. The best. That's because all my children are special, Rukmini ji said, smiling and pulling her cheek lightly. Try to forget the past, Trishvika. God hasn't done anything wrong to you. People have, and He will punish them Himself. Trishvika nodded slightly. What will you eat? You must be hungry, right? Rukmini ji asked. Yes, very, very hungry. Trishvika smiled. Sit down, I'll have something prepared right away, okay? Rukmini ji said, walking toward the kitchen.